Hola estudiantes. Today we're going to learn about indirect object pronouns. In this lesson you will learn the following. What are indirect objects? How to identify indirect objects? And how to replace indirect objects. Let's start with identifying direct objects first. Well, indirect objects are nouns, which are person, places, or things, that answer the question to whom or for whom about the verb. Indirect objects, pronouns, take the place of indirect object nouns. Let's start with this example. I buy pizza for my students. So the subject in the sentence is I. The verb is buy. What am I buying? It's pizza. And who's the pizza going for? It's for my students. Example 2. The subject is she. The verb gives. What is she giving? She's giving a book to her friend. Okay. And the third example, he buys his mom flowers. The subject is he. The verb is buys. What is he buying is a direct object, so it's flowers. For whom? For his mother. So how do I replace indirect objects? These are the pronouns that we use in English. We have a singular and plural. Singulars are me, you, him, her, or it, us, you, and them. Okay? For example, we're going to try to replace the indirect object in this sentence. I buy pizza for my students. If you notice, there's two colors, one blue and one green. What I'm buying is blue, and that answers the direct object. So direct object answers what I'm buying, that's the pizza. The indirect object, who is it for? The pizza is for my students, right? So what is the pronoun that can be used to replace students? Take a look at the chart. Can you use me? I buy pizza for me. I buy pizza for you. I buy pizza for him or her. No, because it has to be plural, because students are multiple students. So the answer is them. I buy pizza for them. So now we're going to learn how to replace indirect objects in Spanish. We already know these are the pronouns that we use in English. So in Spanish, me gets replaced with me, you gets replaced with te, him, her, or it gets replaced with le. Please notice that this is gender neutral, unlike the direct object pronouns, which is gender specific. For us, it gets replaced with nos. For you, plural in Spain, it will be os. For you, plural in Latin America, and them is les. Remember, it's gender neutral. So this is the example we're going to be working on. Yo compro pizza para los estudiantes. So how to use indirect object pronouns? First step, we're going to find the verb and direct object and ask who is it for. Remember, they're usually after the word para or a. Okay. 2, find the indirect object and match it to its pronoun. Indirect objects can be people, places, or things. They must agree in numbers, but however, there's no genders in this case, okay? Determine the placement of the pronoun. It can be placed directly before the conjugated verb or attached to the infinitive verb. And then finally, you just replace the noun with the pronoun. So, what's the direct object? What am I buying in this case? I'm buying a pizza, so that's a direct object. So then we find the indirect object. Who is it going for? who's going to eat the pizza? It is los estudiantes. So what is the pronoun that can be used to replace los estudiantes? Remember, it's multiple students, so it cannot be singular. And in this case, it's gender neutral. So it has to be les. Okay? So now let's rewrite the sentence, the placement, and the verb. Find the verb that's conjugated. And the verb is comprar, to buy, but it's conjugated for yo, so it's compro. So we're going to put it before compro. Yo les compro pizza. Now let's practice together. Let's work some examples. Number 1, ella da el libro a su amiga. So go ahead, find the verb and the direct object, and then ask who is it going for? And it's usually after the word alba. So the direct object is what, right? What are we giving? We're giving el libro. The indirect object will be who is it going for? A su amiga. What is the pronoun that can be used to replace a su amiga? Is it a singular noun or plural noun? It is singular. Therefore, it is le. Remember, there's no gender. Now, we have to replace it and put it into the sentence. Ella le da el libro. Correct. So now it's your turn. Replace the indirect object with its pronoun. I suggest that you pause so that you can work on the examples on your own before you find the answers, okay? Yo llevo chocolates a mis amigos. Go ahead, find the indirect object and replace it with its pronoun. Les llevo chocolate. Número 2. Tu mamá quiere dar un beso a ti. Now it's a good time to pause. This is the answer. Tu mamá te quiere dar un beso. If you notice, there are two verbs, so therefore you can also rewrite it this way. Tu mamá quiere darte un beso. And number 3. La agente confirma el vuelo para mí. Go ahead, pause. This is the answer. La gente me confirma el vuelo. Muy bien.